You are now listening to Wave a Sound.
Welcome to episode 79 of Versus Mike History. I am your host, Michael History. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you choose to listen. And if we are on your preferred platform, let us know and we'll do our best to change that. For premier access to Versus Mike History content, join our members-only subscription tier on versusmikehistory.com.
America freed the slaves in 1863 through the Emancipation Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps, but it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression and as a result of a society that deliberately made his color a stigma and something worthless and degrading.
Peace, family. We are back for another episode of Versus Mike History. Hope everybody is staying safe. You know, we're pushing through this pandemic. It's not over yet. So I hope everybody's doing what they need to do to, protect themselves. There's news of a new variant of COVID, the Omicron variant, or as Twitter has dubbed it, the Omarion variant. And, it's making its way around. So, get your booster shot if you need to. Or, however you plan to fight that thing, just stay safe. I hope everybody's doing well, mental health wise. There's a lot going on in the world. A lot of things are changing right before our very eyes, and there are a lot of interesting things going on and things that we should be paying attention to in general. And as always, I'm here to just give you guys some tidbits and news bites and some insight on what I'm paying attention to in the world. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the show. So as always, we got to lead with love, and I just want to give a big shout out to Melissa and Tori on their lovely, lovely wedding and their marriage. I had the privilege of attending their wedding ceremony last week, and it was a beautiful gathering, a bunch of family there, good people, great vibes, and love in general. So shout out to you guys. Congratulations on your marriage, and I wish you guys a fruitful life together. And, yep, let's go ahead and move on. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with some news, and I want to focus on my creators for a bit with this one. YouTube reveals millions of videos get hit with incorrect copyright claims, and I'm getting this from The Verge. Over 2.2 million YouTube videos were hit with copyright claims that were later overturned between January and June of this year, according to a new report published by the company today. The Copyright Transparency Report is the first of its kind published by YouTube, which says it will update biannually going forward. The 2.2 million incorrect claims represent less than 1% of more than 729 million total copyright claims issued in the first half of this year, 99% of which originated from Content ID, YouTube's automation tool. When users disputed these claims, the case was resolved in favor of the uploader 60% of the time, according to the report. Though mistaken copyright claims are a drop in the bucket on a larger scale, YouTube creators have long complained about how the platform handles claims, saying overly aggressive or unjustified enforcement can lead to lost income. Copyright claims can result in videos being blocked, audio being muted, or ad revenue going back to the rights owner. Oh, that was bad. The new report gives shape to a problem that YouTube itself has acknowledged needs updating. So yeah, YouTube pulls a lot of content down based off of, a clip of a show being in it, or maybe some music or anything like that. Like they usually look for that when they do their copyright claims in terms of the algorithm. But yeah, they've just been getting in the way of a lot of users, it seems. And I don't know why they would rather, get in the way of creators who can, well, we know why. It's all money. So it's just an interesting take. All right, next up from Blavity, I have aspiring neurosurgeon's medical illustrations of black fetus in the womb leaves Twitter in awe. Medical student and aspiring neurosurgeon Chidebere Ibe is making use of social media after creating a medical illustration that left people in awe. The medical student said he was inspired to create medical graphics for students of color, deviating away from traditionally white medical textbooks. Textbooks are essentially invincible to medical training. They walk medical trainees through conditions they will encounter during their practice, he said, yet most medical illustrations are on the Caucasian skin. This lack of diversity has important implications for medical trainees and their future patients. Black skin should be equally represented. So I got the opportunity to see these illustrations myself on Twitter, and I've got to say that it's very shocking to see. It's very shocking to see, first of all, because not only are the illustrations of the babies brown skin, but they're dark skin, and it highlights how empty that space was for illustrations of babies of color, and black babies in general. Like, it's crazy. And now that we've seen it, we can't unsee it, and we'll definitely make the push for that to be a more widespread thing amongst our culture and society. So I think that was an awesome thing that he did. Shout out to him. Okay, and I have here that crypto conference DeFiCon 2021 to be hosted on December 18th and 19th in Brooklyn, New York. And this from Bitcoin.com, so bear with me. The next crypto conference lighting up the season is DeFiCon 2021, hosted on December 18th through the 19th in Brooklyn, New York. As a nonprofit conference, DeFiCon steers away from the typical corporate and for-profit conference model. All of DeFiCon's net proceeds will be donated to charity. The event also engages in civic leaders and activists. Featured keynote speakers are Stanley Kulichov, the founder and CEO of Aave, Jaz Gulati, the co-founder of Ren Labs, and Kiran Mosqueda, chief scientist of Railgun. And that's all I'll read. So to attend DeFiCon in Brooklyn, you have to purchase an NFT, which I have done. And I think that this whole space is really awesome, and it's been teaching me a lot. And, going to this event is going to open a new door in my life to learn about finance in a brand new way. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm really excited to share that journey with you guys as well. So I wanted to share that on here. And it's all really cool. All right, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of word of mouth. So I want to start with versus 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs and Harmony. That was a sight to see. Definitely one of the most iconic verses to happen. Not necessarily because of the music played, even though all of the music played was great, but because of how events transpired. So this was definitely one of those verses that you didn't want to miss live, and I didn't have the opportunity of seeing it live because I was asleep. But yeah, man, I watched it the next day and actually woke up to the memes first before I got the opportunity to watch it, and I was very disappointed when I saw Busy Bone throwing his water bottle across the stage at Juicy J. Yeah, and watching it, the whole thing in context, I understand why the events transpired the way they did. I still do personally have 3 6 Mafia coming out as the winners of the verses, but Bone Thugs and Harmony are legends in their own right, and I don't need to praise them for their work to be recognized as iconic as it is. And yeah, it was a dope event because even though they did fight in the middle of their verses, they quickly came back together and finished their performance, and were professional about it at the end of the day, because that could have easily just ended the whole event, and they didn't allow that to happen. And I'm just glad that it happened that way. All right. I'm going to spill my guts right here for a second, give you some grievances that I have with myself. So Art Basel was this past weekend, and I was not there. And I'm disappointed in myself because I've known about Art Basel for at the very least 5 years, and I have not made it my business to go to Miami. Secret, I've never even been to Miami, but that's a whole different conversation. I have not been to Art Basel at all ever, and now that I'm entering this new space, this decentralized finance space, this cryptocurrency, this blockchain space, I think that it's absolutely necessary, on top of me going to school for art history, going to college for art history, that I immerse myself into this world. And if you guys have any advice or tips that you want to give me or some feedback, let me know. I'm open to everything. And Art Basel seems like a very fun time. Miami plus art. What else could you want? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really know what happened this year because I didn't keep up too close with it. I just know when it happens every year because I'm not there, and I'm always saying every year, damn, I wish I was there. And that is it. That is my segment on Art Basel. Time to get into some new music. So we have a great single from SZA called I Hate You. It's really good. Rick Ross drops off another from his upcoming album. That is called, hang on, I thought I had it right here. Oh, here we go. Little Havana, featuring The Dream and Willie Falcone. There's a lot of new music this week, actually. Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi, Just Look Up. Nardo Wick, Future, Lil Baby, Me or Some. I love that track. I ran it back 1,000 times already. Tusi and Jacquees, Never Leave. I have not heard that yet. Mercedes, Brent Fires. I'm not a big fan. It's not a bad song. It's not a bad record. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think this one is for me. Sinister, Cordae and Lil Wayne. That actually is the sound selection for this week's podcast. Joyner Lucas and Lil Durk, Rambo. Mary J featuring DJ Khaled, amazing. Another one from Mary J Blige, Good Morning Gorgeous. I haven't heard either of those, actually. Juicy J and Wiz Khalifa got one, Pop That Trunk. Tierra Whack with Stand Up. I have not heard that. I need to listen to that. And About You by Blast. I have not heard that either. There's a lot of new music that I need to catch up on. But yeah, that's what's on my radar right now in terms of new albums. Let's see. We have Khalid with Scenic Drive, Polo G with Hall of Fame 2.0, ESTG with Bigger Than Life or Death, Part 2. And yeah, I mean, that's it on my end. So yes, that is it for new music. Let's go ahead and get into some TV trailers and movies. So, the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse just dropped, and that looks pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to that. Miles Morales looks older, and Gwen is back to have his back. And I'm really excited to see where this goes, and we get a glimpse of Spider-Man 2099, and these guys are just going through hexagonal portals into different dimensions and timelines and, all that futuristic comic booky crap stuff that I live for. I'm looking forward to it. Spider-Man was my favorite comic book character growing up, so the fact that Marvel is making movies about him, and the fact that Sony is making movies about him all at the same time, and they got the animated stuff going on with the movie, and they got that new show on Disney Plus that I'll show my kids at work. It's a lot. It's a lot of Spider-Man content out there for me to consume, and the games. The games are good too. So yeah. What else is there? Oh, Sony released a new clip from Morbius that looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It shows Jared Leto's transformation into Morbius. Well, not, what I'm saying. His character's transformation into Morbius, even though the entire transformation wasn't necessarily there. You just saw him go from human to man vampire, or whatever you would call it. It looks cool though. Looks cool. The graphics are really dope, and it looks like a nice little thrill to get started with the new year. So we'll see how it all ties together with No Way Home and how it connects to Venom and all that good stuff. What else do we have? We have the first look at Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3. So I believe there were some crew on the set who have special shirts made from the Ant-Man movie. In the reflection of Ant-Man's helmet on the shirt, you see Jonathan Majors' Kang the Conqueror, and he looks sinister. Honestly, I'm really looking forward to this movie. I'm kind of upset that it's so far away, and I'm still not sure how I feel about Ant-Man being, or Kang the Conqueror rather, being the main villain in this new Ant-Man movie. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but all in all, it is what it is. We've seen Jonathan Majors already in Loki, and we'll see him again in Ant-Man 3. And yeah, so I'm really excited to see where this all goes. What else do we have? We have a Peacemaker trailer. So Peacemaker is the Suicide Squad spinoff series that will be premiering on HBO Max. It stars John Cena as Peacemaker, as he was in the Suicide Squad movie earlier this year that released. And it looks pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna watch it and update you guys on it on the podcast here about it when it comes out. And that wasn't necessarily my favorite character from the film, but he was definitely funny. And John Cena's cool. Like he's found his lane in terms of roles, I think. So this one is definitely not necessarily in his wheelhouse, but it's him branching out and doing something that he's capable of, conquering. And I think that's dope. I also saw that Colin Farrell's Penguin, the one that will be premiering in the Batman movie starring Robert Pattinson that premieres in 2022. He will also be in the Gotham series that will premiere on HBO Max, which is pretty interesting. DC is going all in on this multiverse thing. They got their mainline DC stuff with J.K. Simmons as Jim Gordon, and they have the Batman, Robert Pattinson, where I'm blanking on his name right now, but we have a whole different Jim Gordon who is a different race and everything. And, they're connecting both of these film franchises into series that will also be on HBO Max. And I think that's cool. So, all in all, it all sounds cool. And what have we here? We also got a Matrix trailer, another trailer for the Matrix. This franchise, man, it's got me in a tight grip because I love the Matrix, man. The first Matrix means a lot to me. It's very near and dear to my heart. But the second two, not so much. The second one is still very good. Third one, I struggle with a lot. Not to say that they aren't all good movies, but in terms of the story that they're trying to tell, it's just kind of a letdown. And I'm very reluctant with this new one because it looks really good, but I don't want it to be some soft reboot of an IP that some random company is just saying, hey, let's do this thing again. I hope that there's actually some, care that's going into this. It's going up against Spider-Man. It's holiday season. I don't foresee it doing well. But that doesn't mean it's not going to be a good movie. We shall see, though. So, yeah. All right, last up, I took the time to watch Michael Shea's new stand-up on Netflix. It's called Shame the Devil. And it was funny. It was very, very funny. And I say that in that tone because while I do find Michael Shea funny most of the time, I don't really watch SNL anymore. But I did watch his series on HBO Max that I'm still shocked was greenlit. But I don't know. I feel like some of the things that he says in the press when he does speak to media are kind of asinine. But that's neither here nor there. His stand-up was really, really funny. He did a really good job. And the only critique of it that I do have is that it kind of closed weak. But I do think that his jokes were really, really good. I think you guys should check it out. And, it's cool. It's good work. I like it. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up there. So, as always, send comments, questions, music, and movie suggestions over my way. You can follow me on Instagram at Last Name History. And you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Versus Mike History. You can follow me on Twitter at Mike History and the podcast on Twitter at VS Mike History. Subscribe to the members only subscription tier for $5 a month to get exclusive interviews with Black entrepreneurs, Black creatives, and Black people in general. People in general. I'm open to expanding that. I'm looking to expanding that in 22 maybe. I don't know. I've been thinking about it a lot. And yeah, as always, stay beautiful, Black people. This week's sound selection comes from Cordae, and it features Lil Wayne, and it is entitled Sinister.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded nigga, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, my nigga, I swing the pendulum. If the bitch bag a dick shit, I'm gon' give her some. Let's reflect times, I try to collect minds from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the fuck up, just let me talk, nigga. I'm a time bomb that's waiting to go off, nigga. Quite nuclear, amazing what fame could do to you. Too peculiar, although I'm truly a renaissance starter. My mind divine, this should take me a lot farther. Growing up, should I really have beef with my father? But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, nigga, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded nigga, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed them. Keep your mouth shut, cause niggas got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth nigga is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm aiming them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma shit on them. Just like my keys, drop my genitals. On the dinner work, my thoughts I keep confidential. It's consequential, philosophies unidentical. I'm not into you, my Siamese brother Benjamin. That's how I stick to him, these diamond bees, all BBs. I call them Vivica, skating underneath the bridge. Stay hustling as it is, make money, feed the kids. Ain't nothing in the fridge, wake up, repeat the sins. 8 blunts, I need a 10, stay muddy to the lid. 800, eat a dick.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded nigga, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, my nigga, I swing the pendulum. If the bitch bag a dick shit, I'm gon' give her some. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. Never lied in my rhymes, you can go ask Jennifer, that's my mom's name. I create and find change, my mind frame ensures that forever I reign, motherfucker.